Welcome in the section number 7 of our course. This is a final section, so let's stay tuned. In this section, we'll be looking at the techniques to make your Spring app maintainable on production. So this will be a look at the last step of your Spring Boot development lifecycle. At the beginning, we'll be configuring Spring logging to avoid noisy logger. Then we will automate deployment of your application with Spring Docker plugin. First video will be about using Micrometer to measure caches used within the application to avoid memory leak. Then we'll be controlling endpoints response times with histograms. Finally, we will expose those metrics via Prometheus to build monitoring around them. So this is a first video in which we will be configuring Spring logging to avoid noisy logger. So we'll be adding log4j config, we will be understanding log levels, and we'll be configuring log levels per packages. So if you are using Spring application default logger, you need to have a log4j.properties file in your resources folder. It is important because it will be automatically picked by your log4j framework used for logging. Here you can specify different logging levels for packages in your application. So here, for example, we are specifying that debug should be at the root level, and then we can change this at the lower granularity. We are specifying that we want to have a console adapter, and we are also specifying the pattern of every log that should be produced. But let's take a look at our application. So for example, we have a payment details with fallback. So you can create a logger using getLogger method, and you will have a logger here. So once you have a logger, you can do a log and some things. So for example, you can get an info, you can do a debug, you can get warn, and also you can get error. So also there is a trace. So trace is a lower granularity than upper there is a debug. Then you have info, warn, and error. And depending on the log that you are using, the log will be printed or not. So if you, for example, will specify that there should be a warn here, that some request for account. So there is a warn, and let's take a look at the package. So we can see that this is in the package com.tomekl007.chapter6. So then in your log4j property, you can specify that for this specific package, the debug level should be changed to warn. So in this example, if you will change that, the warning will be generated to your output log. But if you will change it to the info, the warn will not be printed out. So you can measure that and you can pick the specific granularity depending on your use cases. But the same default is setting it to info. You can set it to debug when you are doing development, but on the production you should get info logging level.